All right, so this one's just a quick video. I wanted to check out the Zoom Podtrak P8. We've just got that in now, and I thought I'd talk through. So far, it's really quite impressive. Um, the build quality that people have mentioned, not being so fantastic. You know what? I tend to agree a little bit, but saying that that's the only way that they could have a really light device. Um, the other thing I thought I'd just check out is to look into and to show you examples of what the tone and uh, compression slash de-esser sounds like when testing it out just on device on the Zoom Podtrack. The Podtrack is, from what I could tell, much easier, much simpler to use than the Rodecaster. In Australia, where we are, it cost about the same, so it's not really a pricing thing for us. Um, it was more around making sure that the equipment that we have, the equipment that we use, is easy enough for anyone to use, so that when we have people coming in and using the studio space, it's not too difficult for them. They're not. There's I guess it's very easy sometimes to make a mistake and have a recording that you think is really good, but you stuff up. And you can always fix a lot of things in post, but that's if you record somewhat flat, but if you're recording it with settings already manipulated, I think that's where you're starting to risk not being able to save a file or a recording session, and save meaning that not being able to I guess modify it and work on it so that it doesn't end up all jumbled and messed up. Now, I as sort of big thing, what I wanted to try was the tone and the compression slash de-esser functionality. I wanted to just show you an example of what that sounds like. Now, this is with everything in the middle, or as close to the middle as I can get on the touchscreen. I do wish it was a bit more, not granular. It sort of jumped and had numbers maybe, so that we know for sure that something is in the middle. But maybe they can push that through in an update. So now I'm going to turn on the tone function. Again, this is smack bang in the middle. I'm going to slowly move it over to the bass, or the most like bassy part of the functionality. So I've just done that. We've gone down all the way in the tone setting to down the bass side of it. So this gives an idea of what that sounds like and what I sound like with bass turned all the way up. I don't have the bassiest, boomiest voice, as you may have heard before, but this gives you an idea of what that sounds like. And now I'm going to take it all the way to the other end. Hold on, this is back in the middle just to give you an idea of what that sounds like. And then I'm going to take it all the way to the other end. So now this is trebles at its max. It doesn't sound as good in my headphones. I don't know what you think of it. I think it's just a good example of what that function looks like. I think what you'd want to do is on the day you're recording, um, get the guests to talk into a microphone and just get an idea of if you can improve the sound, or if you can make their voice sound a bit more flattering, perhaps. Now, this is also, sorry, I should have mentioned, coming through a Rode Podmic. So take from that what you may. All right, so I'm going to turn off tone now, and I've just turned off tone. I did move tone back to the middle, so I turned that off, and now I'm going to turn on the compression slash de-esser. So this has a little description. It's kind of nice of Zoom on the pod track underneath each of these settings to say, make your voice darker or brighter. That's for tone, and make your voice sound professional for compression slash de-esser, which I think is an interesting way to put it. I wouldn't necessarily say that it makes your voice sound professional, but I guess it's better than doing. Oh, I don't know if it's better than doing it in post. I guess you'll have to tell me now. This is with compression slash de-esser smack bang in the middle. So I'm just gonna slowly reduce that um, compression slash de-esser function. Let's see what that sounds like. All right, so I've now reduced compression slash de-esser all the way down. So interested to hear what you think and what you have to say about that. I'm slowly going to take that all the way up. There's just a plane flying over us, so if you hear that, I apologize. It's hard to get rid of a sound like that. So all right, now I have turned compression slash de-esser all the way up. According to Zoom's settings, this is at maximum professional sound, professional sounding voice. So again, I'm not listening back to this, so this is more of a sample. This is more of an example of what this sounds like. It's really handy that this also, I should mention, can be done on a per device basis. Sorry, per microphone basis. So each of the 6 microphones have this setting that you can sort of work through. And what I'm also going to do while we're at it, I'm just going to turn off all these other microphones just to make sure that nothing's bleeding through. And this is recording directly, by the way, from the Zoom via USB to the computer. And I don't know, I don't believe that makes a difference in the quality coming through. I hope it doesn't. On top of that, I'm going to turn on tone now. So I'm going to turn on tone and make it, I'm just going to go in sort of halfway in between the middle and the bassiest. I have a hunch that this is probably for someone who's looking at the Rode Podmic and trying, I guess, to get something that sounds like the Shure SM7B, which we looked into as well. I just couldn't get myself to um, purchase that microphone for times 6 because we're just setting up this studio space, or well, not just setting up, but we're just starting to reach out as a podcasting space. So I don't want to sort of buy the best of the best without seeing what we could do with more affordable equipment and more affordable tools. So this is what it sounds like from, I guess, the this is what it sounds like going through the settings that I think is probably sounds the best for my voice. Um, Listening through the headphones, it sounds pretty good, but again, I won't know until I'm listening to it on the studio monitors, which we don't have here. I don't have here at the moment. So um, this is just a demo. Thanks for watching. I just wanted to show what the Zoom Podtrak P8 sounds like. One big reason I picked this over the Rodcaster is that we don't need an additional cloud lifter or a FET head or anything like that to use something like a Rode Podmic with the Zoom Podtrak P8, because it goes up to 70 dB gain, which is quite a bit higher than what you get from the Rodecaster. I think the Rodecaster goes to something like 55. Even in the demo videos, Rode has the gain when they're using the Rode Podmic all the way up on the Rodecaster Pro. And to me, that just doesn't leave a lot of headroom if you are looking to get a Rodecaster Pro with a Rode Podmic. It just sort of adds cost and adds complexity as well. So that was one big reason why we went for the Zoom Podtrak. The other reason being as well that you can just use a standard SD card with the Zoom. Micro SD isn't. It's just a little bit less convenient, I would say. We also do a fair bit of videography and photography, so we've got SD cards around. That means that we've got a lot more cards that can natively be used with the Zoom. whereas we have to go buy micro SD cards. Now, a few years ago, when most phones had expandable storage, we were swimming in micro SD cards, so it wouldn't have been as annoying back then. But we don't use GoPros and things like that, so we actually don't have any micro SD cards around. SD cards are bigger. I think you can get them for cheaper for better performance, at least, and you can pick them up from almost anywhere. So that's another reason why the Zoom Podtrak P8 has been our choice over the Rodecaster Pro. So yeah, those are just checking out some of the features and functions. I might even throw in just a quick look at the Podmic, the Rode Podmic. Now, like I said, I've got it in front of me. We are using the Rode DS1 microphone stand. I'm just going to, and that's me bumping the table. I'm just going to rotate this around to give you an idea of what the noise rejection is like. We do have the um, I should mention we do have the Rode windsock on here as well. It just makes it very friendly for people who've never recorded using a microphone like this before. Stops the pops from coming through, and has another reminder as well. I've got the settings between, from the middle and between bass halfway through there, and we've also got comp and de-esser turned all the way up. Okay, so I'm just going to rotate the microphone around just to give you an idea of what it sounds like in terms of rejection. Okay, so this is, as you can see, ignore the handling noise. All right, there you go. This is me talking from behind the microphone, directly behind the microphone. I'm very close to some walls around me, so that's potentially leading to some echo. I'm just going to turn it around to that side, so I'm just talking directly 90 degrees from the left, and I am back, and at least with the headphones, it definitely sounded like it was rejecting a lot of that noise. But again, I won't find out until I'm back on the computer and listening to it through the studio monitors. But this is just us showcasing, or me showcasing, what the Zoom Podtrack sounds like, and what the settings are like. I should also mention actually that we considered the P4 because we thought it'd be nice and portable and really handy to use for video shoots. We ended up going with the P8 just because it lets us add a lot more microphones and a lot more people in. So it just gives us that flexibility because we've got a large space to have more than just the 3 guests or more than just the 4 guests that the P4 would allow. So that's why we ended up going with the P8 for anyone sort of weighing it up. All right, cool. That's it from me. Thanks for watching this video. And if you want to find out about hiring this space out, go to fdstudio.com.au. If you're in Canberra, we are a podcast recording studio, we are a photography studio, and just a general studio space that you can use for a range of things over here in Canberra. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.